It all started when Karen, the self-proclaimed queen of our neighborhood HOA, decided I was a threat to her little empire. I had recently purchased a plot of land on the outskirts of the community with the intention of building a small cabin for weekend getaways. Simple enough, right? But Karen had other ideas. A week after I started construction, I received a letter, official-looking, stamped with the HOA logo, demanding that I pay fees and submit to HOA rules, despite the fact that my property was legally outside their jurisdiction. I ignored the letter at first, thinking it was a clerical error, but the letters kept coming. Then came the threats. Fines, liens, and most absurdly, a lawsuit demanding that I join her HOA immediately or face penalties. The day the lawsuit was filed, I couldn't believe my eyes. Karen was claiming I was undermining community harmony and refusing to comply with neighborhood standards. She wanted the court to force me to join an organization that had no legal authority over my land. I laughed at first, but my attorney urged caution. "This is ridiculous, but we'll handle it," he said. Court day arrived. The room was packed with curious neighbors, and Karen strutted in, holding a binder that seemed far too thick for such a flimsy case. She looked confident, smug even, as if she had already won. I, on the other hand, remained calm, armed with my attorney, property deeds, and a binder full of laws, court precedents, and HOA limitations. The judge, a seasoned professional with little patience for nonsense, listened as Karen launched into her complaint. She described in painstaking detail how I had refused to participate and threatened the neighborhood's cohesion. She emphasized the HOA's authority and demanded the court enforce it. Then came my turn. My attorney calmly presented the facts. My property was not within the HOA's jurisdiction. I had paid all taxes, obtained all necessary permits, and the HOA had no legal right to impose rules or fees on me. The judge scanned the documents, leaned back in his chair, and raised an eyebrow. "Miss Karen," he said, voice dripping with disbelief, "you're asking this court to compel someone to join a private organization that has no authority over their property?" Karen nodded eagerly, unaware that she was stepping into a trap of logic and law. The judge smiled, a subtle, almost imperceptible grin, then shook his head. "This is utterly without merit. In fact, it borders on harassment and abuse of the legal system." He banged his gavel. "You, Miss Karen, are hereby found to have filed a frivolous lawsuit." Karen's confidence faltered. The judge didn't stop there. "Because of the severity and intentional misuse of this court to intimidate a lawful property owner, I am ordering immediate contempt proceedings. Bailiff, take her into custody." The courtroom erupted in gasps. Karen, the once smug HOA president, turned pale. She tried to argue, to explain, to protest, but the judge raised a hand, silencing her. Within 3 minutes, she was handcuffed and led out of the courtroom, her binder still clutched in her trembling hands. The entire room was silent for a moment, then erupted into whispers, laughter, and applause. Neighbors who had long endured her overreach smiled knowingly. I stood there, stunned but relieved, realizing that the law had spoken in favor of fairness, property rights, and common sense. After the ordeal, I returned to my cabin, reflecting on how absurd the situation had become. Karen's arrogance and obsession with control had led her straight into legal defeat. The cabin, my property, and my rights were intact. The HOA had been reminded, in the most dramatic fashion possible, that authority cannot exist without legal grounding. From that day forward, Karen's reign of intimidation ended. The lawsuit was dismissed, her antics widely known as a cautionary tale, and I finally enjoyed the peace and quiet of my cabin without harassment. It was a surreal, satisfying victory, a reminder that standing firm and knowing your rights can topple even the most overbearing HOA queen in record time.